All right, we're back again. Chef Jeff in the kitchen, making no mistakes. And I'm sure you guys have subscribed, turned on notifications, all that stuff. Put a big smile on my face because I don't think I'll ever get to 1 million subscribers, but just knowing your friends have subscribed and help you out, I don't know, puts a smile on my face. Anyway, go ahead and do that for me, help me out. Today, I want to give a shout out to my OG homie back from the 1900s, Steve. Now, this is a buddy of mine from high school, and we both went in the service. You're welcome. And when we got out, we moved back to Tampa, and we rented a house together. And one of the things, we were always broke, it seemed like, so we were always trying to make something cheap. And I don't even know where I picked up this recipe from. But I would make garbanzo bean soup, canned everything. I would get your chorizo. Quite honestly, I can't even remember if I would just cook it in the pot with everything together or if I would saute it in a pan first. I really don't remember. It's been so long. But he's been asking me to make this, so I'm going to make this for my boy Steve. And yeah, I think that's about it. Let me bring you in, show you what I got cooking with. Again, this is super easy, super cheap. Now, I've got a Publix right down the street from me, so that's where I do my shopping. Publix, where shopping costs a treasure. And all of this, I even got some milk. All this was like in the $30 range. That does seem expensive. I guarantee back in the 1900s, when I was buying this with my buddy, it was probably in the $10 range. I wouldn't even doubt that. But $10 of garbanzo bean soup, couple of Iceman malt liquors, and we were good to go. But no malt liquor today. Let me bring you in, show you what we're working with, and let's get started. All right, so super simple recipe. I've got some chorizo here. I've got some ham. I'm gonna be dicing that up, putting that in. And I wanna thank my buddy Todd, my cousin-in-law. I was talking to him about this, and he said, well, how about some beef kielbasa? Hey, great idea, I'll go ahead and try it. So I'm actually trying this for the first time. But we're gonna put that in the pan, saute it up with everything. Onion. I've got canned sliced potatoes. Don't hate on them; they're really good. And I've got 3 cans of these garbanzo beans. They come with a little sauce in there, so I'm gonna add that. I don't think I've ever added chicken broth before, but just in case I need it, I did pick up a little gimmick of chicken broth. I think I mentioned the onion. I've actually got rice going right now. The way I make rice is I'll measure out, 1 cup or 2 cups of rice, and I will use a little bit more water in that, and then of course I'll throw some butter in there. I measure that out to right around that amount of butter, and that works out pretty well for me. So I'm going to get the chorizo cut up, the kielbasa cut up, the ham cut up, the onions cut up. Now I just put the onions right in the soup and let it kind of mix in with everything. I don't saute the onions before I put them in the soup. But, these things here, there can be quite a bit of grease that comes out of this. My wife doesn't really like the grease. So I'm going to saute these in the pan, probably give them a paper towel pat or something, try and get as much grease out as I can before I actually put it in the pot. But I'm going to get everything together that I can, and I'll be back in just a couple minutes. All right, so let me bring you in for a shot of what I got going on. Obviously, I've already added the ham, the potatoes, I added the onion. I did add some of that chicken broth. I'm using reduced sodium because there's a lot of salt in a lot of this stuff, and I don't know, to me, salt can just be overwhelming sometimes. But I actually don't recall ever using chicken broth before, but maybe I used 4 cans of garbanzo beans. I really don't remember. I've made this periodically throughout the years, I guess, obviously. But anyway, it was 2 cans of the beans, 2 cans of potatoes. I only used 1 of the slabs of ham because I've got the kielbasa, which I'm only using half of that full length. And then I've got the chorizo that I'm going to cook in there as well. And like I said, once those are done, I'm going to kind of pat them with a paper towel, get as much grease off as I can before I put it in that soup. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put the lid on it. I'm going to let it sit there for probably 30, 45 minutes. You want to let all those flavors, those juices, you want them mingle together, marry each other, if you will. And it's all legal. They're all consenting adults, so nothing inappropriate going on here. They can marry each other just fine. All right? So let me get all that done. I will get the sausage put in. I will get the chorizo in the pan, then in the pot, and I'll be back. And there you have it, folks. I don't know how long it took me. Several minutes, really. It just took a couple minutes to saute everything, get all that in there. Like I said, with the paper towels, I got as much grease off as I could, so you know, should be really good. But this is a really hearty soup. I like my soups hard. I like my sloppy Joe sloppy. You know, if you saw the chili video, you know I like my chili hearty. I like my soup hearty. You know, you could add more chicken broth in there if you like your soup a little more soupy. The rice is ready to go. Now, there have been times in the past where when I made this, I would get some of that frozen garlic cheese bread, and I would get some of that together. I actually thought I had some here at the house, but I didn't. So I'm not doing that this time. No big deal. But that does make me think of another cooking video I can do that is going to be absolutely phenomenal. But I'm going to let this sit in there. I'm going to put the lid on there, sit for maybe 30, 40 minutes. Then I'll get a bowl together, and I'll be back. We'll do a taste test together. And I did want to mention that there have actually been times where I even did pepperoni. Get this bag of sliced pepperoni, throw some pepperonis in there. Now, that is pretty greasy, but adds a whole different element of flavor. And it's like I've said, there's no mistakes. I liked it. I thought it was pretty good. My wife didn't like it so much because it's all the grease. But, you know, you got to try something. If there's something you like, throw it in there. Who cares, right? All right, here we go. Let me bring you in so you can take a look at that. Got a little bit of everything in there. Let me ask you guys something. When you know, there's a lot of times where I use seasoning in almost all my cooking. But when I make something like this, when you have so many different flavors going on, I don't add any seasoning. I think sometimes seasoning can take away from the flavor of the food. You've got a bunch of different flavors going on with this. So I wouldn't add any seasoning, but you know, do what you guys want. And try and get a little bit of everything. Some onion. It's going to be hard. There's a lot in there, but it smells amazing. Really hot. Todd, good call on the kielbasa. Absolutely phenomenal. That's good. It's been a while since I've made this, and I don't know what I was waiting on, but this is absolutely delicious. You guys got to try this. If you mix something up, let me know what the change is, or if you add something, let me know. I'll be more than happy to give it a shot myself, but I'm going to eat 2 or 3 bowls of this, and yeah, you guys enjoy it. Let me know what you think. Please subscribe, like it, you know, whatever. You know, leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. See you on the next one.